All right, guys, we're here. We're back. DEMA 2016. Roman Castro from Spear Nation. I'm here with DeeperBlue.com, and we're at the Gannet booth. This is Garo. Garo, by far, sorry.
Hi.
Garo, by far, has the nicest looking booth. I love the decor.
And the best products.
Yeah. The best products, of course. Well, here we go. So let's take it back a step. Tell me how you, because you're a relatively new company.
Yeah, right. We're in our third year.
Perfect. And crushing it. I see you guys in other shops. What's the gaining momentum?
Yep, it's good.
What was the inspiration for starting the brand?
The inspiration for starting the brand was basically I got certified for scuba when I was 10. I was a NAUI instructor by 20. I've been a PFI instructor for a long time now. I've been spearfishing my whole life, and I've been through basically most of the products on the market. I've seen the limitations, and I've been designing my own guns for a long time and my own everything. And 3 years ago, I decided to make it a profession. So
that's perfect. Awesome. All right, so tell us what you're sharing here at DEMA. What are the new products that are coming out?
This is our 2017 line, and new for 2017 are a few things. We've added 2 blue water floats. Our original was 100 pounds of buoyancy, and now we added a 75 and a 50-pound buoyancy blue water float. They're 29 psi, meaning that they're a true 2-atmosphere float, structural stability at 66 feet. I mean, you still have the full amount of buoyancy at 66 feet. The float has a flat top and bottom, which allows it to glide or plane on the surface of the water instead of dig like a traditional round blue water float. You can hop back on the boat, get up to full plane on your boat, 20 knots, and the 100 will just kind of skim behind you.
It won't dislocate your shoulder?
It won't dislocate your shoulder. It won't engage your breakaway if you're shooting a breakaway for tuna. And it's great in current. You barely even know it's back there. You don't have to gather up your float line to do a dive. You can just give it a tug, and then you're on your way.
Awesome. Perfect. The other thing I noticed is your float lines. Your float lines look thinner than the traditional float line you're used to seeing.
A few of them, yeah. So we have the skinny float line. That's half the diameter of a regular float line. It's still the traditional PVC over Dyneema build, 800-pound core Dyneema in the skinny, 1,400-pound in the regular. And we also build a skinny hybrid line, which is less than 2 pounds, 100 feet. Very high buoyancy, very lightweight. It's puncture proof. So a traditional PVC float line, you put a little pinprick in the, say, 50-foot mark of a 100-foot float line, that's going to fill with water, it's going to sink. PVC by its nature is not buoyant. It's the air that's encapsulated in the float line that makes the float line buoyant. So what we have is a proprietary blend of MFP, and that is by its nature buoyant. So you can stick needles in it all day long. It's going to remain buoyant no matter what.
Oh, that's awesome. So not only is the material that the float line is made out of buoyant, but is it also air trapped inside?
No, that's the beauty of it. It's not one of those traditional builds. It's by its nature, the MFP is buoyant.
That's cool. Awesome. And what are these?
So these are our floats that are designed for kelp. These are our floats that are designed for kelp. We call them the snake float. We have them in 2 sizes and 2 colors this year. New for 2017, we're putting out the longer size, a little bit more flotation, and we're coming out with the yellow color, which is a little bit more, obviously visible in the water. What they're meant to do is you put it on the back of your float. If you have our float line, it's just a loop to loop. If you have a traditional float line, you know how your hardware is sinking behind you. If you're in the kelp, you can't really run a real float, but you do need the buoyancy. So you put one of these on there, you can swim through the kelp, doesn't get snagged up, and it marks your shot trail and lets your buddy knows where you are. It turns out that a lot of guys are using these for their pole spears as well. On a float line or directly to the pole spear in the Bahamas, when you have really good viz, you don't really need much float line or float, but you do want to mark your shot trail. You want to know where basically where your pole spear went, and these are good for that as well.
Perfect. That's awesome. Oh, that's cool. And so just like I'm always trying to use things for multiple things, so I would probably put some clips on the end of that thing and use it as like a gunsling,
Sure,
making your way down the clip or something.
Yeah, why not, right? Yeah, because it's padded. Yeah, it's soft.
So like when you're making that walk down the trail to shore dive.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, huh? Yeah, that's it. That's a great idea. Right? And then you just
there you go here at DEMA. That's
hey, I should pay you.
Awesome.
For 2017, we're coming out with Gunslings. The Roman Gunsling. I like
Perfect.
that. What a great name, right?
Cool. All right. Oh yeah, right. It works. What about your floats? Tell us about your floats.
Okay, so in this corner, we have more of our recreational freediving floats and our hunter-gatherer float. We call this the coastal float. This one is going to take the place of your, banks board, boogie board, whatever you do. It's got a giant gear catch bag, integrated, reinforced deck. If you're hunting for spiny lobster, it's not going to puncture the board. It's very lightweight. So you can pack your fins into the cargo net, whatever else you need. It's got a shoulder strap, and then you're down the trail. Kick out to where you're going to dive, go dive, come on back. Plenty of room for your abalone or your reef fish or lobster, whatever you're diving. One of the main benefits of this is that it is inflatable. It lies flat when it's deflated, packs away nice and easily. It's nice and light, so you don't have much weight if you're hiking down a big goat trail or whatever. So these are our more recreational and competitive freediving floats. This one's our diver float. It's a little bit bigger. It has the spider web on top, so it's meant to be either a staging line for a competition or for an instructor who's going to have 5-6 students out in the water and who, is going to do his lesson. It has its personal effects pockets for weights and such. A lot of handholds, a lot of D-rings, plenty of real estate to teach a class from. This is our competitive freedive float. It's got a little bit smaller of a footprint, so when you're coming up to do your surface protocol, you don't have to back too far away from the float to grab it. You got a clean surface protocol there. A little less buoyancy, but it's meant for competitive freediving. Although I do have a lot of instructors using this float as well.
Awesome.
I have integrated dive flag holders. Everything we build has a lifetime warranty. That's including material and construction. We have a second stage of our lifetime warranty. If you decide one morning to run this over by your boat and it's not really all fault, we'll sell you a new one for half the price.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's lifetime of the float. Lifetime of anything we build.
That's cool. That's awesome. So we're here. We're talking about freediving. Is this your solution for a line diving setup?
Yeah. So we are now offering retail line competitive recreational and instructional lines. They are ADA marked, meaning that so you see the last 3 meters is the candy cane, ADA compliant bottom plate with a compression nut. You can take this nut off, the plate lies flat, the line's nice and light, it floats. It's actually the same MFP that we use for our float lines. It's got about a 1,400 pound braking strength, not that you'll ever need it with a recreational or comp line, and it's marked every 5 meters. So you can see the 30 meter mark, and then a tick, and a 20 meter mark, and then a single tick. So when you're teaching or you're diving, you're training a certain depth, you can set your line to that depth and dive to the bottom plate and back. We offer them in 20, 40, and 60 meter lengths, and we do custom longer lengths as well.
That's awesome. Okay, let's go back.
So new for 2017, we've added actually a traditional float line build because we found that building our own hardware for our floats, we can now justify having a traditional build. It is very high end. Everything is made in the United States. It's manufactured, and the materials are built in the United States. Our new proprietary hardware is swiveling. This is our GannetI, 1,800 pound braking strength for our GannetI. So it far supersedes the actual braking strength of the line. The dyneema in the core is 1,400 pounds. So you're actually getting a true 1,800 pound braking strength float line. Not that you'll ever need it. You can't put that amount of pressure on a fish. I know that the market tends to say that, we have 5,000 pound braking strength on our line. First of all, everything is only as strong as its weakest connection. So if you're looking at the biggest, baddest tuna clip out there, the really heavy duty ones, that's only a 700 pound fail rate. So no matter what kind of core you have in this float line, it's going to fail at 700 pounds if you have a tuna clip on it. Now, our GannetI is actually designed specifically ground up for spear fishermen. It's not a main line to branch line, long line clip. That's what a tuna clip is. This is what we looked at to design what precisely is ideal for spearfishing. So it's quiet, it's soft, you got no hardware banging against your gun, it's an 1,800 pound braking strength, and it's fully swiveling, integrated into the hardware.
Does it swivel under pressure?
It does. Now, granted, the greater pressure you put on it, it's not a ball bearing swivel. So, if you're putting 1,000 pounds of pressure on it, it's going to swivel, but it's going to swivel slower and it's going to be tighter. So these are designed, I mean, I'm putting quite a bit of tension on here to swivel under pressure.
Nice.
But again, it's not a ball bearing swivel. So the more pressure you put on it, the more tight it's going to get.
But it actually swivels when you do.
Yeah. We couldn't get the tensile strength to be high enough with a ball bearing.
Oh.
We tried it. It would be cool, but you can't get an 1,800-pound brake with it. It's those swivels, you know, they fail at, like, if you're lucky, 400 pounds.
And a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, I did see all of you guys testing you were putting on online. Those are cool.
Yeah.
So
we built our own dynamometer. We test everything we build. So we basically fail everything we build. We've failed the floats. We failed the float lines. We just, you know, put pressure on them until they break. So we can honestly say and market that these things break at whatever it is. The fail rate is that because we know it is. We have it on film.
awesome. So there you have it. This is again, like I think it's another innovation in the sport. He's building gear from the ground up, from the perspective of spearfishing. So this is really cool. Can you tell us where these products are available and all your social media stuff?
So we have an authorized dealer program. We have dealers on the West Coast, Mid Coast, East Coast. If you're in San Diego, James and Joseph. If you're in Orange County, Spear America, and a few other dealers just picked us up at the show. But we have dealers all through the Florida and on the East Coast. Our social media is GannetDive.com. That's our website. Our social media is GannetDive Co. on Instagram and on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us all this information.
See you
Awesome.
back in San Diego.
Yeah.